Hey guys, welcome back! I had so much fun finding all the new stuff last episode, and I am so ready to actually put some of the stuff we found to use. And the first thing I think I want to do is put a bunch of these firefly bushes into our swamp project. Yep, I think this project could definitely benefit from some added particle effects. So let's add some in and see if we can find a good balance. That turned out exactly as I hoped. I mean, just look at all the lovely little fireflies dancing around. And this is just during the day. I think it looks even better at night. But having these little particles just adds so much to this project. There's something about having movement in a project that just makes it feel so much more alive. And despite talking about how I wanted to put these everywhere, I am aware that that would get old quite quickly, so I decided to focus the bushes in two specific places. The first is next to the water, be that the pond or the river or a waterfall, because I figured that's where they would naturally generate in the world, so it felt like the right place to put them. And then I also decided to put some extras up on Monument Hill, partly because we already had some up by the pond, but also because I felt like adding the particle effects up there in a broader sense would make the area feel even more prominent and special, and I love the extra ambience it brings. And while we look at the lovely particle effects at night, you might have noticed during the time lapse that I decided to put some of the bushes on top and on display and others buried under the ground. And at one point I was considering burying all of the firefly bushes to get the particle effects but not actually have any showing, but in the end I thought it was nicer to actually have some on display so we can take advantage of getting a new texture to play with but still have some of them buried to make sure we get at least some of the particle effect during the day. Plus, having double the bushes in a bunch of places also makes the particle effect even more effective at night, both because of the extra contrast and also because the underground and overground bushes are both making the particles. And overall, I just love these things. I will try and use them sparingly and only where they really make sense with the vibe of the project, but this was the perfect first outing for them and I am so happy with how it came out. But with these all in place, we need to go from revamping an old project to building a new area on our long-term home island project. Yep, as promised, it's time for us to build our mini desert. And I think this area is going to be perfect for it. So let's see what we can do. looking so much better. I mean, what started as a very empty, bland beach area is now a lively little desert, and I love it. When I first started putting everything in, I was slightly worried that I was making it a little bit overcrowded. My natural tendency is always to fill every little gap because it just looks a bit more pleasing to me, but I do know that sometimes it can be a bit much, so I tend to go back in and take a bunch of stuff out, but I think this time it doesn't seem to be too busy. I mean, obviously there is a lot of dried grass and cactus and everything, but I think it works. Every time I try to take some of the little details out, it just started to feel way too empty, so I think I like it as it is. Plus, along with the general overall detail, we also have a couple of little points of interest. I didn't want to add anything too big back here because it is a relatively small space, but I also didn't want to leave it without having any of the bigger elements. So the first thing I knew I wanted to add was this mini oasis, which admittedly does feel slightly redundant because we are right next to the ocean, but I love this space and it just felt like the right thing to add in the desert. And while I have used these palm tree designs before in the acacia section of my island, I still really like them, so I decided why not reuse them, because I mean, what better tree to put in a desert? And then when I was thinking about what else you find in the desert to add something else in, I of course had to put in a desert well. And I did decide to spruce it up slightly with some of these decorated pots because I hardly ever find a reason to use these, but I do really like them, and they just fit really well here. I was originally thinking of only using the shard designs that you get from the suspicious sand in the desert well, but there's only 2 designs and I really wanted more variety, so I just ended up picking some designs that I liked and where I already had multiple of them. And overall, I really like this. It's small, but relatively detailed, and mostly, I'm just happy this is a project we can actually do now. Previously, trying to do anything deserty like this just wasn't really super viable because there wasn't enough blocks to detail with, but now with all the new cactus flowers and the grass and everything, it's just so much easier. But on that note, I think I'm going to leave this episode here. We got some good work done today, and I am so happy that we've been able to use some of the new blocks, and I can't wait to use even more of them in the future. And I think next time I want to make a small little resin farm, and then maybe I think it might be time to break ground on my next big project, so I am very much looking forward to that. But until then, thank you guys for watching, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!